Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Just people are all fed up with everything that's going on and the way we're getting treated, because I feel we're not being fair and equal.
Many former firefighters in Purley, Minnesota are upset that their former station will now be joining with another town. One whistleblower reached out to us saying because of that move, they've been losing local firefighters. And as Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz reports, residents worry that will mean a slower response time to emergencies in Purley.
The city of Purley is a small one. As of 2010, the population was less than 100. So it might make sense for its fire station to join forces with neighboring town Hendrum in order to expand its resources.
And it's going to be a lot more training. It's going to be more of everything.
But former Chief Casey Hegerberg tells me, due to this move, the opposite is happening, as volunteers are dwindling.
Well, right now there's 2 people on the fire department. There used to be 16 people.
Hegerberg says even though the firefighters are volunteers, they still received a small stipend for putting out fires. But with this move to Hendrum, if a Purley firefighter chooses to stay on, he or she will lose all the previous years served, which will affect retirement benefits.
Say we have one guy that's been on there for 30 years. Now that we switched, you have to go put in an application to be on the fire department again. And so he would be starting all over day one. He would not get anything for those 30 years that he put in.
In fact, another former firefighter I spoke with served at Purley's fire station for 45 years. He tells me he would have stayed on, but since he would have lost all those years, he chose to retire while still in Purley. The drastic loss of firefighters has some worried about response time in an emergency.
If we had a fire, we got all the equipment here, but we don't have anybody that has the knowledge to run it. If we have a call, it's going to be on Hendrum. Hendrum's going to have to pick up the pieces for Purley.
Purley's mayor tells me former firefighters oppose the move to Hendrum largely due to misinformation, and that nothing will change with the move other than the meeting locations and new training, now to be set in Hendrum. He also says there's currently no relief association for the Purley fire station, so retired firefighters wouldn't be eligible for benefits until signing up with Hendrum. But Casey Hegerberg says those serving for decades shouldn't have to lose all their previous years of firefighting just because the benefits start now in Hendrum.
I don't know what to say about that. I think there's other ways we could have taken other than them jumping in the gun to go with Hendrum. It's a shame nothing's going to be, no recognition, no thank you, no nothing.
Meanwhile, one board member tells me the move could have been handled better. In Purley, Minnesota, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
The City of Purley and Lee Township Fire Board will meet at the Purley Fire Hall tonight at 7. We're told members of the public may attend to voice any concerns in the beginning, but the second portion of the meeting will be closed to the public. The rising Red River prompted city crews to shut down Elm Street today in Fargo between 14th and 15th Avenues North. That happened around 2 this afternoon. Authorities say the road closure is necessary because of recent heavy rains, but also because of a storm sewer failure in that area. Crews will need to repair it immediately when the water recedes. Elm Street will be closed until further notice. And that's a result of the river flood warning. Our area is under until Friday. Hutch, will it stay dry this evening?
For most of us, it is staying dry, and a little update on that forecast for the Red River as it flows through the Fargo-Moorhead area, expecting to crest tomorrow at 18.3 feet. 18 feet is minor flood stage and should have minor impacts in the FM area, but rural communities may see a little bit more impact. Some showers out in our far eastern county from the Bemidji area through Hubbard County, approaching Park Rapids. A quick 5/100ths to 1/10 of an inch of rain as the showers move from the Breckenridge area through the Fergus Falls area. Rainfall of about 1/10 of an inch or so from that. Not super heavy, but certainly not needed there. Temperatures in Fargo under crystal clear to partly cloudy skies will be in the 70s for most of the evening. Likewise, a nice warm day with light winds in Grand Forks. Perfect to get out and play a game of basketball with the kids at the park. I'll have details on how much longer we stay nice and when our rain chances increase here in just a few moments.
All right, thank you, Hutch. A Grand Forks man faces child pornography charges after being arrested earlier today. Investigators searched the home of Nicholas Bartholomew this morning after serving a search warrant. The warrant was part of an investigation into child porn. Officials say they recovered images from the home. Anyone with information on this case is encouraged to contact Grand Forks Police at the number on your screen. A 17-year-old boy from Pelican Rapids is recovering after he was thrown off an ATV near Vergas, Minnesota. It happened Saturday around 2:30 in the morning. The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office says another 17-year-old boy, also from Pelican Rapids, was driving the ATV with two passengers when he made a sudden turn, throwing off one boy. That injured boy was taken to a hospital in Detroit Lakes and then eventually taken to Fargo with serious injuries. The driver was arrested on several charges, including criminal vehicular operation resulting in bodily harm and DWI. There's no word yet on the third boy on the ATV. We are learning the name of the man who died in a crash with a minivan and his forklift. 61-year-old Juan Contreras died when the forklift he was driving was rear-ended on Highway 15, a half-mile west of Thompson, North Dakota, yesterday afternoon. The driver of the minivan was 80-year-old Marilyn Peterson of Northwood. There's no word yet on whether she will face any charges in the crash, and it does remain under investigation. The Minnesota Attorney General is weighing in on the immigration debate. Lori Swanson joined state prosecutors who say in a letter the Trump administration should end its zero-tolerance policy separating children and their parents, and that it's inhumane. Swanson says the policy raises concerns regarding children's rights, due process, and equal protection. People in the metro had a chance to drop off unwanted or unused medications today. It's a local drug take-back day, and it started at 1 this afternoon, ended at 4 at Fargo Cass Public Health. Medications were only taken if they were in plastic Ziploc bags or containers. Event organizers say these types of events work to combat the opioid epidemic in the metro. School leaders in West Fargo have named their new assistant principal for West Fargo High School. Kelly Peters started his teaching career in Montana, then moved to Tioga Public Schools and later Red River High School in Grand Forks. Peters will officially start as an assistant principal on July 1st. Molly Yeh is known for her best-selling cookbook, Molly on the Range, and her popular food and lifestyle blog, My Name is Yeh. But now she has another title to add to her list. Yeh will be taking her recipes to the big screen as she hosts a new Food Network series called Girl Meets Farm. From simple kale side dishes to entrees your family will love, Yeh will be showing off recipes that even beginner cooks can whip up.
There are a lot of recipes that are really easy to make that you can make with common household staples. And then there are a lot of tips and tricks for different swaps that you can make depending on what what ingredients you have on hand or what ingredients are seasonal. So it's going to be really fun, but it's also going to be accessible for an everyday cook.
Yeh's new show, Girl Meets Farm, premieres this Sunday at 10 in the morning on the Food Network. It's one of the biggest reveals for one of the biggest fairs in the nation. The Minnesota State Fair has released a list of all the foods we can devour. They include a barbecue split, Irish Tate kegs, and General Tso's chicken. The Great Minnesota Get-Together starts August 23rd down in the Twin Cities. And tickets are now available for President Trump's visit to Fargo next week. The ticket portal went live yesterday. You'll be limited to 2 tickets per cell phone number. Trump will be in town June 27th to campaign for Kevin Cramer, who is challenging Heidi Heitkamp for the U.S. Senate seat. We have a link to the ticket site on our website. All you have to do is go to valleynewslive.com and search for this story.